You've seen them. Those people who seem to effortlessly draw others in, who walk into a room and suddenly everything shifts. They don't try too hard, they don't force anything, and yet everyone wants to be around them. But what if I told you that this isn't about luck, fate, or charm? It's not some secret gift they've been bestowed with. There's a psychological trick at play, one simple phrase that can make 99.9% of people gravitate towards you. This isn't about complimenting someone or saying what they want to hear. It's deeper, more powerful. It's about knowing the subtle forces of human psychology and wielding them with the precision and control of a Stoic. In Stoicism, the foundation of true strength is not just about emotional control, but about mastering the art of understanding others. It's the ability to step into any room and influence the dynamics with the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly how to read people. The secret is in the power of presence, in using a phrase that speaks to the core of human interaction. You see, Stoicism teaches us that our greatest power is not in reacting to others, but in shaping the atmosphere around us, using clarity, poise, and an understanding of what drives people. And with this phrase, you'll unlock the potential to make anyone feel seen, heard, and respected, drawing them to you naturally. Here's where you start. If you're ready to tap into this power, go ahead and hit that like button. Why? Because action is the first key to unlocking transformation. By liking, sharing, and commenting, you help spread this message to others who are on a similar journey, making this content more visible to those who are ready for a change. Let's be honest though, if you can't take the simple step, perhaps this video isn't for you. Transformation requires action, and action is what fuels progress. So step up, like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll grow and unlock the potential to change our lives. Now, let's dive into how this one phrase will make you irresistible. Number 1. Speak with purpose and clarity. The magic of a few well-chosen words. You know those people who can walk into a room and, with just a few sentences, have everyone hanging on their every word? They don't need to shout, and they don't need to say everything. They just speak with purpose. That's the power of clarity, the kind that demands attention. Let's face it, most people babble on endlessly, hoping that eventually something of value will escape their lips. But here's the thing, less is more. A few well-placed, thoughtful words speak volumes. Imagine this. You're in a meeting, and someone is rambling on about something totally irrelevant, trying to sound smart. Then, you step in with just a couple of sentences, sharp and to the point, cutting through the noise, like a hot knife through butter. Suddenly, the room goes quiet. Everyone listens. Why? Because you didn't waste their time. You spoke with purpose, and that is the kind of person people respect. It's not about dominating the conversation. It's about knowing when to speak and, more importantly, what to say. Let's talk about those people who think that more words equal more impact. They talk just to talk, filling every silence, trying to sound profound, but all they're doing is weakening their own position. People start zoning out. Their words lose weight, because they're cluttered with nonsense. Now, let's flip the script. Speak with intention. Think before you speak. When you're asked a question, don't immediately fire off an answer. Take a moment. Reflect. What's the impact of your words? Will they inspire? Will they offer clarity? If not, don't say it. This shows strength, composure, and control, qualities that make people gravitate toward you. Take a tip from the Stoics. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Epictetus. When you speak with purpose, you're taking control of the situation. You're not being reacted to what others say, nor are you speaking for the sake of being heard. You're choosing your words carefully, ensuring they reflect your intentions, and not just an impulsive reaction. In the end, Speaking with purpose isn't just about the words you say. It's about showing that you have control over yourself, over the situation, and over your emotions. It's about communicating strength, confidence, and clarity in every word you choose. So next time you're in a conversation, remember, speak less, but say more. Your words will carry more power than you ever imagined. Number 2. Show unshakable confidence without arrogance. Confidence. Everyone talks about it, but few truly understand it. You know those people who walk into a room and own it without saying a word? You can practically feel the energy shift as soon as they appear. They don't need to announce their worth. They simply radiate it. But here's the catch. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or boasting about your accomplishments. That's arrogance, and believe me, it's a turn-off. Confidence, on the other hand, is quiet, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. Think about someone you admire. Maybe it's a mentor, a leader, or even a celebrity. They don't need to convince you of their value. You already see it in the way they carry themselves. There's a calmness in their demeanor, a knowing that they're enough without needing to prove it. That's unshakable confidence. They stand tall, not because they think they're superior, but because they truly believe in their own worth. They don't need to tear others down to lift themselves up. Now, contrast that with arrogance. Arrogance is the loud, brash cousin of confidence. It's when someone constantly seeks validation, uses others to boost their ego, and make sure you know they're better than you. It's desperate and transparent. And the worst part? It repels people. No one wants to be around someone who constantly brags or belittles others. People can sense insecurity behind arrogance, and it's a major turnoff. So how do you strike that perfect balance? How do you project confidence without crossing into arrogance? It's all about being secure in who you are, without needing others to validate you. When you can be comfortable in your own skin and not worry about impressing anyone, that's when true confidence shines. Take a tip from Seneca. He who is brave is free. Confidence comes from knowing that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You have the courage to stand tall without needing the approval of others. When you stop seeking validation, you create space for others to admire you not for what you do, but for who you are. Here's your actionable tip. Hold your ground in every situation. Don't try to impress others. Instead, focus on being calm, collected, and sure of your own worth. When you walk into a room, don't demand attention. Command it with your presence. Your silence will speak louder than any words could. Don't be afraid to let people see you for who you truly are, without embellishment. Confidence isn't about making others feel small to make yourself feel big. It's about allowing your presence to shine without the need for validation. In the end, confidence is not about showing off. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. The more you embody this, the more people will be drawn to you. So stand tall, be calm, and let your unshakable confidence do the talking. Number 3. Show unshakable confidence without arrogance. Confidence. Everyone talks about it, but few truly understand it. You know those people who walk into a room and own it without saying a word? You can practically feel the energy shift as soon as they appear. They don't need to announce their worth. They simply radiate it. But here's the catch. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or boasting about your accomplishments. That's arrogance, and believe me, it's a turn-off. Confidence, on the other hand, is quiet, magnetic, and impossible to ignore. Think about someone you admire. Maybe it's a mentor, a leader, or even a celebrity. They don't need to convince you of their value. You already see it in the way they carry themselves. There's a calmness in their demeanor, a knowing that they're enough without needing to prove it. That's unshakable confidence. They stand tall, not because they think they're superior, but because they truly believe in their own worth. They don't need to tear others down to lift themselves up. Now, contrast that with arrogance. Arrogance is the loud, brash cousin of confidence. It's when someone constantly seeks validation, uses others to boost their ego, and make sure you know they're better than you. It's desperate and transparent. And the worst part? It repels people. No one wants to be around someone who constantly brags or belittles others. People can sense insecurity behind arrogance, and it's a major turnoff. So how do you strike that perfect balance? How do you project confidence without crossing into arrogance? It's all about being secure in who you are, without needing others to validate you. When you can be comfortable in your own skin and not worry about impressing anyone, that's when true confidence shines. Take a tip from Seneca. He who is brave is free. Confidence comes from knowing that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You have the courage to stand tall without needing the approval of others. When you stop seeking validation, you create space for others to admire you not for what you do, but for who you are. Here's your actionable tip. Hold your ground in every situation. Don't try to impress others. Instead, focus on being calm, collected, and sure of your own worth. When you walk into a room, don't demand attention. Command it with your presence. Your silence will speak louder than any words could. Don't be afraid to let people see you for who you truly are, without embellishment. Confidence isn't about making others feel small to make yourself feel big. It's about allowing your presence to shine without the need for validation. In the end, confidence is not about showing off. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. The more you embody this, the more people will be drawn to you. So stand tall, be calm, and let your unshakable confidence do the talking. Number 4. Play the role of the enigmatic stranger. Here's the secret. People are obsessed with what they can't have. It's human nature. Think about the allure of mystery, the thrill of a good book you can't put down, a person you can't quite figure out, or that one character in every TV show that keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's the intrigue that keeps us hooked, always wanting to know more. Now, what if you could harness this mysterious energy and become that person? When you give everything away up front, when you lay all your cards on the table, you lose the element of curiosity. There's nothing left to uncover, nothing left to discover. You become just another open book, easy to read, easy to forget. But will you become the enigmatic stranger, the one who isn't so easily understood? You suddenly become infinitely more interesting. Think about relationships, romantic ones, to be specific. Ever met someone who had that magnetic energy? They didn't tell you everything about themselves in the first 5 minutes. Instead, they let you slowly peel back the layers. Maybe you didn't know where they were from, or what they did for a living, and you found yourself wondering. Maybe you saw them in a group, but they were always a little apart, not in the middle of the conversation, but subtly observing. This small distance, this air of mystery, made them seem more intriguing, more valuable. You found yourself gravitating toward them, eager to know more. Now, contrast this with someone who lays it all out on the first date. Here's my job, here's my family history, here's my playlist, here's what I had for lunch. It's overwhelming. It's too much, too soon, and most importantly, it's not mysterious. The puzzle's already solved, and who likes a puzzle with no challenge? This is exactly how playing the role of the enigmatic stranger works in real life. Let's say you're at a party, and instead of joining every conversation, you let others come to you. When they ask you about yourself, you give them just enough to pique their interest but not enough to satisfy their curiosity. A simple, "I work in a field that requires a lot of travel," or "I've lived in a few different places, but I think I've found home," is all it takes. They want to know more, and that keeps them coming back for more. Plato's wisdom speaks volumes here. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. When you withhold some of yourself, when you are desperately trying to be everything to everyone, you show your worth through the power of your mystery. You allow others to invest their energy in uncovering who you are. And the more they invest, the more they feel drawn to you. Actionable tip: don't reveal everything about yourself at once. Hold something back. Don't tell your entire life story in one sitting. Let others discover you slowly, allowing your mystery to become part of your attraction. This isn't about playing games, but about creating a space where others are eager to get to know the real you. Remember, a little mystery goes a long way. The more they wonder, the more irresistible you become. Number 5. Acknowledge others' needs and desires. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. This is a universal truth that transcends relationships, whether romantic, professional, or even casual interactions. When you can understand and acknowledge another person's needs, without getting lost in them, you create an emotional connection that's magnetic. This skill is rooted in empathy, but it's more than just offering sympathy. It's the Stoic emotional intelligence that allows you to respond to others with understanding, while maintaining your own peace and stability. In romantic relationships, think about the times when your partner was upset, and you didn't immediately offer a solution but just listened. Maybe they came home from work frustrated with a colleague, and instead of jumping in with advice or trying to fix the situation, you simply nodded, asked thoughtful questions, and validated their feelings. When someone feels heard, the immediate tension often dissipates, and they are much more likely to feel connected to you. In fact, it's often in these moments of silent understanding that the deepest bonds are formed. In contrast, when we fail to acknowledge someone's needs, we create distance. Imagine a partner who constantly dismisses your feelings, rushing to fix problems instead of listening. That frustration you feel when someone doesn't validate your emotions, it's a direct result of being unheard. This is why, in a world where everyone's struggling with their own battles, simply listening and acknowledging someone's emotional state can make you irresistible. It's the type of power that doesn't shout, but quietly pulls people in. Let's also consider professional environments. Have you ever noticed how some leaders and colleagues gain respect just by being present and attentive? A manager who truly listens to their team, asks the right questions, and values their input will always have a stronger connection with their team than one who simply dictates instructions without any regard for the personal needs of those around them. When you acknowledge what people want, be it a moment of understanding or a more meaningful connection, it builds loyalty and trust. This is true in romantic relationships as well as in business. This is where Stoic emotional intelligence shines. Viktor Frankl's insight: when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, teaches us that, in relationships, we can't always control others' emotions or situations, but we can control how we respond to them. Acknowledging someone's needs, while maintaining your own emotional balance, shows true strength and emotional maturity. It makes people want to be around you, because they can see that you're emotionally grounded and capable of supporting them without losing your cool. Actionable tip: when someone speaks to you about their feelings or frustrations, practice empathy. Rather than jumping in with advice or trying to offer solutions immediately, pause and really listen. Acknowledge what they're feeling by saying things like, "I can see that's really frustrating," or "That must have been really tough for you." By showing that you understand their needs and emotions, you validate them without overextending yourself. This simple act builds trust and admiration, making you an irreplaceable presence in their life. Remember, when people feel truly heard, they don't just feel better, they feel a deeper, lasting connection with you. That's where the real attraction begins. Number 6. Master the art of timing. Timing. It's like that secret ingredient in a recipe, the one you don't even realize matters until you miss it. And when you do, the entire dish falls flat. The same goes for attraction. Whether it's a conversation, a meeting, or a date, the ability to act at the right moment makes you irresistible. It's like having a sixth sense for the perfect opportunity, and when you master it, You're not just present in a conversation, you're in control of it. Get it wrong, and you'll be the person everyone remembers, for all the wrong reasons. Have you ever experienced that perfect moment where everything seems to align? You're having a conversation, and you can feel the other person's energy shift, like they're waiting for you to say something. But if you speak too soon, you'll ruin it. Maybe they're looking for a sign of understanding. Or maybe they just need to hear the right words. The timing is everything. But then, there's that one person who speaks up at the wrong moment. And just like that, the magic is lost. We've all been there. A bit too eager, a little too early, and suddenly, you're the awkward one in the room. Now, let's take this a step further. In the workplace, timing can be your secret weapon. Think about the meetings where a crucial decision is about to be made, and everyone is just waiting for someone to make a suggestion. You can either rush in with an idea, hoping it's the right one, or you can pause, assess the situation, and then drop a single, well-thought-out point that immediately positions you as the leader. It's like chess. You don't just make a move. You make the right move at the right time. The same principle applies to romantic relationships. Ever had that moment where someone suddenly spills their feelings for you, but it's just too soon? They jump the gun, and now you're left feeling cornered. Timing, my friend, is everything. You can't rush it. Let it unfold naturally, and when you speak your truth, let it be when it feels right. Actionable tip: learn to read the room and understand the rhythm of any conversation. Wait for that moment where everything aligns, and then speak or act with intent. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's your gateway to magnetic charm. When you strike at the perfect time, you'll leave a lasting impact that can't be matched. Number 7. Use the power of nonverbal cues. Isn't it fascinating how sometimes the most powerful messages come without saying a single word? In fact, it's often the things we don't say that leave the biggest impression. In romantic relationships, how you carry yourself, your body language, your gaze, your posture, can speak volumes, often more than anything you can say. Words are important, of course, but nonverbal cues, they're what truly draw people in. Think about that person who doesn't have to say much, yet somehow, you're captivated. Maybe they're not saying a word, but the way they stand or the way they look at you makes you feel as if you're the only person in the room. It's a subtle art that plays into human psychology. Nonverbal communication can create a deeper connection than any conversation ever could. Actionable tip 1. When trying to create that magnetic energy, it all starts with posture. Stand tall, but remain relaxed, don't force it. An open posture shows you're approachable, confident, and engaged. In the context of dating or romance, it's incredibly attractive when someone carries themselves with poise, rather than slouching or looking too distant. A slight lean towards someone in conversation signals interest without being overt, creating a space where connection flows effortlessly. Actionable tip 2. Eye contact is another powerful tool. It's not about staring someone down. It's about holding their gaze just a little longer than usual, creating a sense of intimacy and attention. In romantic interactions, eye contact is a silent signal that says, "I'm here, I'm listening, and I'm engaged." Don't overdo it, but those moments of connection through your eyes can build emotional intimacy in a way words simply can't. Actionable tip 3. Finally, be aware of your touch. A gentle touch on the arm or shoulder can communicate care and affection. In relationships, physical touch is one of the most profound ways to express feelings without saying a word. If you're comfortable, and the moment is right, a small gesture like this can reinforce what your words might not fully capture. Stoic insight. The most important thing is to be able to shape your mind so that it is a force of good, free from external constraints. Marcus Aurelius. By mastering the subtle art of nonverbal cues, you align your inner self with your outer expression. When your body language is grounded in confidence, compassion, and openness, You invite others to engage with you on a deeper level. It's a practice that doesn't need to be forced or manufactured. It just flows naturally when you're attuned to the power of presence. So next time you want to make an impact, remember, sometimes less is more. Let your presence, not your words, be the first thing that draws people to you. Number 8. Create a sense of urgency without pressure. Awe, the sweet allure of scarcity. It's like when you're standing in line for that last piece of cheesecake, and suddenly everyone in the room is eyeing it too. Why? Because it's the last one. You don't even really want cheesecake, but now, it's irresistible. This principle works in human interactions too. You've seen it, right? That person who's always around, always available, ready to cater to your every whim. But after a while, don't you start to take them for granted? And isn't it just a little bit boring? The same applies to attraction. You can't be the cheesecake in the fridge that everyone knows is always there. You've got to be the last piece, sitting there just out of reach, making people wonder, what if it's gone tomorrow? People want what they can't easily get. It's not about playing games. It's about being strategic and creating an aura of elusive allure that naturally draws people in without the need for manipulation. Think about the times you've been chased, whether by a potential romantic interest or even in the workplace. The more they chased, the more you wanted to pull away, didn't you? Now think of the opposite scenario. Someone who's not desperate, who makes you work a little bit for their time or attention. Interesting, right? It's the mystery, and the fact that their attention isn't something you can just take for granted. Suddenly, they're the one who becomes irresistible. Now, how do you pull this off without looking like you're playing games? Let's break it down with some practical steps. First off, in relationships, romantic or otherwise, don't always be the one to reach out first. Give people some space. You don't need to drop everything to respond to that text within seconds. Instead, take a beat. Let them think about you. This isn't to make them wonder if you're playing hard to get. This is to give them the chance to miss you, and to realize that you have a life that's just as interesting and important as theirs. Actionable tip 1. Practice delayed responses. Not in a, let's play games kind of way, but in a, I have other things going on, and that's okay kind of way. When you stop dropping everything to be available at a moment's notice, you'll notice that people start pursuing you more actively. Another trick, be a little unpredictable. If you're always showing up at the same time, in the same way, people start to take you for granted. Break the routine. You don't have to go off the rails, but by switching things up a little, you add an element of surprise. It's like when you finally show up to a party after everyone's been talking about how they miss you. Don't be the constant face that shows up at every gathering. Show up when it counts, and let your absence speak for itself. Actionable tip 2. Keep them guessing. Be there when it counts, but give others the opportunity to miss you. Don't make your presence predictable. Make it special. Actionable tip 3. Cultivate your own interests and life outside of others. When you have things that fulfill you, people will feel that energy, and they'll be drawn to it. Stoic insight. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. By creating scarcity in your time and energy, you're not only increasing your value, but also taking control of what truly matters, your inner peace and personal growth. In all of this, there's one underlying truth. Scarcity increases value. Just like that last piece of cheesecake, make yourself a little harder to get, and watch how people start craving your presence more than ever before. Number 9. Use the power of strategic indifference. Have you ever noticed how people are inexplicably drawn to the one person who doesn't seem to care? It's as if their lack of concern for the opinions of others only amplifies their allure. The truth is, The secret to becoming irresistible lies not in constantly seeking attention, but in mastering the art of strategic indifference. When you're emotionally unattached and show a healthy detachment from others' behavior or reactions, you unlock a magnetic force that others simply can't resist. Think about it. Have you ever had someone chase after you simply because you didn't seem desperate for their approval? Or have you ever felt yourself longing for someone who acted like they didn't care if you were interested or not? That sense of emotional unavailability creates a sense of mystery that pulls people in, making them crave your attention even more. Actionable tip 1. Withdraw when expected. One of the most powerful ways to master strategic indifference is to consciously withhold your emotional energy when others expect you to react. In a romantic relationship, for example, if your partner is constantly seeking validation or reassurance, withhold it momentarily. Instead of immediately offering compliments or responding to their every need, stay calm and observe. This creates space for curiosity. Suddenly, they begin to wonder why you're not responding as they expect, which leaves them wanting more. They'll find themselves chasing after the attention you strategically pulled back. Actionable tip 2. Don't let people control your emotions. Another powerful tactic is remaining unfazed when people attempt to provoke you. Imagine a scenario where a person, perhaps a friend or someone you're dating, makes a passive-aggressive comment. Instead of getting caught up in their drama or feeling the need to defend yourself, stay composed and indifferent. Keep your emotional energy intact and respond calmly, or even better, say nothing at all. The key is not letting their behavior affect your emotional state. When others see that they cannot provoke you, they'll be drawn to you like moss to a flame, fascinated by your calm, steady presence. Actionable tip 3. Maintain a healthy mystery. The unpredictable nature of indifference creates a magnetic effect. In dating or relationships, try keeping a little bit of mystery about yourself. Don't always be available or ready to share every detail of your life. Instead, keep some things to yourself. Let others wonder what you're thinking or what you might be up to. This uncertainty draws people in, making them eager to engage with you to learn more. Stoic insight. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. In Stoic philosophy, detachment from external events and emotional self-regulation are key components of freedom. By practicing strategic indifference, you are essentially giving yourself the freedom to choose how you respond to the world around you, whether it's a relationship, a workplace, or even casual encounters. When you stop being emotionally swayed by others' expectations or behavior, you unlock a sense of peace and power that's incredibly attractive. So, embrace the art of strategic indifference. Withdraw when expected, stay calm when provoked, and let your emotional energy be a precious commodity that others have to earn. In doing so, you'll become a force that no one can resist. Conclusion. Now that you know the secret to making 99.9% of people irresistibly drawn to you, it's time to put it into action. This phrase, rooted in Stoic psychology, isn't just about getting attention. It's about commanding respect, sparking curiosity, and creating a lasting impact wherever you go. By mastering your words and knowing the precise moment to speak them, you'll be able to unlock a level of attraction and influence that others can only dream of. But here's the kicker. Knowing the power of this phrase is just the beginning. It's about embodying it, living it, and ensuring that it becomes a natural part of your presence. Speak with intention, live with purpose, and watch as people are magnetically pulled toward you. It's not just about impressing them. It's about leaving them intrigued, eager, and wanting more. So what's your next step? If you're ready to master this powerful technique and elevate your relationships, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from unlocking their own irresistible presence. Leave a comment with your thoughts, experiences, or any questions you might have. Let's discuss how this simple yet profound knowledge is transforming the way you interact with the world. Now, go ahead, own the room, captivate their attention, and let your influence grow stronger than ever before. You have the power, the wisdom, and the tools. It's time to make them irresistibly drawn to you. Ready to take that first step? Let's do it.